So you mentioned in your early years in Christian education that you had been, I think you said it like building on the wrong foundation or something like that. I wonder if you could go down that path just a little bit more, even take us back maybe to that if you had like an aha moment and kind of explain like what changed because you'd obviously been doing that for a while and you alluded to a little bit, but I wonder if you can take us back to that.
Yeah, absolutely. So coming into Christian education, I thought that, well, I can bring in what the secular world does really well, what the public
Mhm.
world does really well, and I can
Sure.
bring in that curriculum and I can bring those expectations and we can set outcomes and KPIs and all the things and really have a successful school. And immediately I was setting up standards for success that weren't biblically based. It was
Mm.
what does success look like to the world? And so
Yeah.
what do our students' test scores look like? How are they achieving on the ACT and the SAT? And what kinds of scholarships are they getting to colleges and universities? And I actually went to a biblical worldview conference, and so I was challenged to come and hear that. And Dr. Brian Smith does a fantastic job of talking about how Christians compartmentalize their faith and how we live our life and in one way, and we kind of have this holy part of our life in the different sphere, and we compartmentalize it. I was really challenged by that because I never thought about it in that way, and I walked away from that a little angry because I was like, I don't do that, and I was like, I do that, and so it's just a conviction that I walked away
Back
with.
to that tension, right?
And right. And by the time I was flying home from that conference, I realized I have to do some fundamental changes. I have to go back to the foundation of what I've built in this new school. The secular curriculum that we brought in because we thought that it was more academically rigorous, provided more resources for teachers. So you know what? We can't ignore that Christ is the center of everything, is a creator of everything. And how can we take that away and still call ourselves a Christian school? And so it was a really humbling season. I came to realize that, I was building on the foundation of achievement, building on the foundation of performance, building on, really definitions of success and what our parents wanted. They wanted their kids to be able to go to these, top schools and have prestigious, names and things like that. And that was even driving the Christian school. And I'll tell you, even there's some colleagues in other schools that were our competitors that were doing the same thing,
Sure. Yeah.
replacing Christian curriculum with secular curriculum. And so I was just trying to keep up. And so the turning point though for me was realizing that, you can have the Christian language, you can have the Christian activities, you can have the chapel and the Bible classes, but you can still operate a Christian school from a secular framework, even with those things. How do you really like create and digest that biblical worldview in everything you do? And so wrestling with that, it just hit me pretty hard. And so what changed my understanding of what Christian education really was I asked God, I said, listen, I need you to give me clarity. Is Christ truly Lord over our school, or are we just asking him to bless the things that we're already doing? And so many
Interesting.
times it was an event, oh God, just bless our efforts and bless our,
Mhm.
but we didn't come to him up front and say,
Yeah.
give us wisdom and give us direction. Oh, that's my prayer every morning. Give me wisdom, give me discernment, help me understand what you want me to do in this place. It's yours. Just give us the wisdom. And so in moving from that shift of bless what we're doing to direct us, give us the direction. How do you want it to look? What does it need to look like? That deeper commitment to scripture and to prayer, not just devotionally. A lot of people will say that it's really kind of devotionally, but really, seriously seeking authority of how we, do education in our program, from a biblical point of view.
Enjoyed this short clip? That was just a sneak peek into a full episode on the Teacher Edition podcast. We are passionate about supporting Christian educators like you. Looking for more inspiration and practical strategies you could use today? Subscribe now wherever you get your podcasts. Brought to you by BJU Press.